welcome to the TheDPost for All Season Sports Show. I'm Drew Rubenstein here again with Dave Racy. And Dave, before we dive into this week's topic, we are transitioning into a new phase. It's been a lot of fun, and we've certainly enjoyed having you on the show. But starting next week, Fred Wyant, Mountaineer great, is going to be filling in your spot on a more consistent basis. And I know we may still hear from you from time to time, but it's been a pleasure, and we'll also look forward to Fred joining the mix here.
Well, I've enjoyed it, but Fred Wyant, he's been on the gridiron. He knows what it's like to play at WU and a follower, and he's been an NFL referee, so I'll be interesting to listen to see what he has to say.
Absolutely. And he's also written 11 books, a lot dealing with parenting and happiness, so it's certainly a fascinating guy that it'll be good to have on the program. But
you made a great move.
Well, before you go, though, an interesting topic since the weekend really has been the NBA and the cloud that's been over the Los Angeles Clippers. Donald Sterling, the owner, came out Tuesday that the NBA has banned him for life and fined him $2.5 million. And it seems like the NBA is doing everything it possibly can to get Sterling to sell the franchise after a private conversation that he apparently had with his then girlfriend became public, in which he makes a lot of racist comments. And before we get too much into the weeds, what's your initial reaction when you've just digested this story?
Well, I find it interesting that that I guess the owners can do that and the commission can do that. It'd be like sort of like it's a gambling scandal or something like that in baseball and things. But they've known this guy forever. They've obviously, and I would imagine that, I'm just saying there might be other owners that would have said similar things. So Donald Sterling, he wants to own a team and things. It's his money. I guess you can't blame him for wanting to sit courtside and stuff, but he'd said some things, but probably he didn't want made public, and they got made public. He could come out, I guess, and apologize and ask for mercy, which wouldn't be a bad thing to do, and maybe they wouldn't, I don't know, the fine probably ain't that much for him, but maybe they let him hold on to the team. I don't know, but it's just a mess and something that you shouldn't have to be dealing with, really.
Right. There's a lot of different layers to it, and obviously nobody would condone what he said, but you mentioned a lot of things because it was a private conversation. It became public, and the NBA though obviously came out as tough as it possibly could with it, and it goes back to nothing's private when you're in the limelight like he is. So I mean, do you agree with the harsh stance that the NBA took here? Should they have taken the step that they did? Because if you're dissecting what he actually said, obviously it's ridiculous, and there's no place for that, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that, but it's more how the NBA's handled it.
Yeah, I think the NBA is probably a lot of their marketing and thing goes obviously the teams are mostly made up of black athletes, and they encourage black ownership like Michael Jordan and Charlotte, and maybe this is one of those things where, well, why do you need black owners? Well, because that breaks this kind of thing up, and maybe people wouldn't say things like that. Donald Sterling's from obviously a different era when things were allowed that. I think the Washington Redskins, their owner was a known racist, and it wasn't that long ago where there was still the separation in the South where the players couldn't stay in the same hotels and things like that. So it's not. I guess you can't find it unusual that someone of Donald Sterling's age still thinks that way, and so it doesn't make it right or wrong, but that's just the way it is, and I think that they shouldn't be surprised that this happened.
And this was one of the topics that we kind of discussed on this. Was it is 2014, and I understand what you're saying, but that being said, in today's age, that it's taken this long for this to come to light, if you will, and for Donald Sterling to kind of reveal himself, I guess you could say, and for the NBA to take the harsh stance. Why and how it's taken so long? You had some interesting thoughts.
Because it was just, it was a couple of things. One, it became public. I would imagine Donald Sterling had mentioned the same things that he did to his girlfriend in owners' meetings and stuff, and everybody probably chuckled about it because they were safe and stuff. But and the other thing is that like I say, he may have said the same things in his organization, but sometimes it's like the king without clothes. Everybody's afraid to tell him, like hey, maybe that's not
right.
Yeah, but his lifestyle is his lifestyle. When people get that successful in other businesses, accumulate that much wealth and stuff. They really don't have to answer to too many people, you know. And he just obviously, in his age and everything else, just, one of those things is going to happen. And it's they have a mess, because I don't know if they can legally make him sell it or do all this stuff. And he might just it'd be like Al Davis from the Raiders when he used to fight the NFL all the time. I got a feeling he was probably going to fight him too.
No, it's going to be interesting to see, because I think everybody can agree what he said was inappropriate, and there is no place for that within the NBA organization. But what the NBA is actually going to be able to but what they're going to actually be able to do, they're trying to push him to the point of selling it, but I don't know that they have that final power to make it happen.
I thought it was a little quick on that, unless they've already said, hey, let's talk about this and make the apologies or whatever else, but maybe they've done that, and he said no. So I don't know what, it's hard to say what's going on in the background there.
Yeah.
So they might have a fight on their hand here.
And it's the first controversy for the new commissioner as well. Trying to come in, and I think making it point too of how he's going to lead the NBA is certainly a factor in all of it as well.
Yeah, that was no gift, welcoming gift there. This is what you get. So I'm sure David Stern is happy that he's not involved with this.
Well, Dave, I appreciate your time like always, and thanks again for the episodes, and we'll look forward.
I'm looking forward to seeing Fred Wyatt. I'm hearing what he has to say on the sports. That's going to be great.
Very good. All right, thanks a lot, and please continue to check TheDPost.com. Thanks for watching today.